Hi everyone, I'm Abby and welcome back to Phoenix Wright's Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Now last episode we finished the final investigation day of this game and we're about to go to trial now. Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself? Morning Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So was Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall? No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it's kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Edgeworth. What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? Prosecutor squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska is going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Gatto? Gatto. Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She's been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate the last lock should be taken care of in about 3 hours. Well, I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we'll receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks Edgeworth. Prosecutor Gatto intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made the decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you passed your cold on to someone else and literally... You know what that? I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. Thanks. Gotta love the relationship. Whether it's friendship or something else, yeah. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. Circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donham? No, I mean, Miss Misty Faye. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. Yeah. Court is now in session for the trial of Iris Fazakura Temple. Your Honor? What are you? Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him. I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. Poor brother. He looks a bit pale. Not to mention sad that he couldn't be here. It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Gatto. I understand exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Gatto, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Fazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant? Iris, why didn't you discuss this with me first? Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. My name is Iris. I'm but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple. Witness, is there something that you want to confess to? Yes. But first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore. It's alright. What is it? Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident. Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donham? No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it. What? Order in the court. Order. A witness. Are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder? Yes, that's correct. What? 3 minutes to court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite? Grr, Gato. So this is the confession they were conferring about. He needs me to say this. But it looks like Iris' testimony was all a lie. Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime are you trying to cover up by your actions? Iris is covering for someone? Oh, now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle or a life jacket. I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family. I'm sorry, but main family? Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. Huh? Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite. She's naming Maya? Order! Order in the court. Not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer? I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes, and then clean up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous. I could never do any... The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime? Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case might have going in this direction. Yeah, Ma's once again being blamed for murder. Though this time the circumstances are a bit different since she hasn't been arrested for that. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It's only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. So it was in self-defense. Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya. You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. Got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. Sure, it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. Now, the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. She moved in to deliver a fatal strike? Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon. Wait a minute. What was this weapon? It was some kind of dagger. A dagger, huh? And at least Dornum tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Miss Faye? Yes, exactly. Huh. You look like what I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with Iris's testimony? Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony. You do? But this witness is your own client. Yes, well, nevertheless. That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony. Yes, sir. Hey, just a moment. That's my job to say that. Listen, Gramps. I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now, let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe. Obviously, we know that that'd be tricky, considering she has a sword hidden in there, yeah. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events. Huh? Miss Dornum throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me. But all you can do with the staff is hit someone. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. Ah. If Elise Dornum really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? That was an impressive bit of investigating, Wright. Never would have thought that there was a sword hidden in the staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and is quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony. Well, Mr. Wright, prosecution has a point. Very well, Your Honor. The defense will not present evidence to back its argument. Mr. Wright, I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Dornum would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Maya's mother, yeah. Elise Dornum would never have attacked Maya Fey. How can you be so sure? Because the victim's real name was not Elise Dornum. Her real name was Misty Fey. Fey? Ah! No, not Mystic Misty Fey. Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to? Misty Fey is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She's also the mother of Maya Fey. Are you serious? Is it really true, Mr. Wright? Was Elise Dornum actually the great Mystic Misty? There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea. I can hardly believe it. The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter when she hadn't seen in 17 years? Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Ugh. Order. Order in the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death of mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable and taken on their own. And taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe. Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing. Yes? What is this one little possible thing? Huh. You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Did you get to your point? I heard the witness's confession this morning. Just as I take the first of my 8th cup of morning coffee. You're going to ruin your health, my friend. Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective with us to investigate into the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing? Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else? Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? A pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, and in the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree. Which means, the blood on the dagger belongs to the victim, correct? Huh? Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning. Just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you just say it was your 8th a few minutes ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately. This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately. Now then, the testimony you've just heard has numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, maybe we can consider her testimony to be credible. Cute girls never lie. Ever. That's a lie itself. In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court. About what, Your Honor? About the incident you saw. The battle between the two women. Yes, Your Honor. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly out of being hit over the head with the staff. And then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive, but back to the stone lantern. As the Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise, Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed. That was a very heartbreaking story. I don't know if there are any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Missy's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore. Seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. Yeah, from stabbing back. So if her back was to the lantern, it wouldn't have worked. Something about what you just isn't right today, Iris. Huh? Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions. What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony? According to you, IFA stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct? Yes, that's right. But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right? Yes, I think so. But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. Ah! This proves the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears to have seated doubt is sprouted from your testimony. Ah! What? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Huh? Simple. People are like books. They've all got a front and a back. You get my drift? Is that all you have to say? You can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away useless staff, people fighting, being mother and daughter. And now, she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach. There certainly are some inconsistencies. Well, Iris, how about it? Well, it's just... If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. To pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Gatto, explain yourself. The witness is quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities, which she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light. By the way, did you know? Hasekura has a rule that on nights when an acolytes at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for. Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. It could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. You can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Wright? No! Order, order, order! Here, Your Honor. We present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will kindle the flame of truth in your mind. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Is that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? It says Maya upside down. What the? Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic at least didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body. Certainly looks that way. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are we all talking about? We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be? You can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that. In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Gatto, anything further? Mr. Gatto? Okay then, let's move on. Gatto was literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Dornan was killed by Maya Fey. That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge, and used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple, and... I used the shishishita to alter the way the wounds looked. So you moved the body? Yes. I was raised to Hasakura Temple. I have a great deal of thanks to the fake Kalan. But even so, I never imagined that at least Dornan was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin. A terrible trick of fate. I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but you were spotted by the head nun, correct? Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back. The story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, I'm gonna stop this here now. Yeah. Interesting turn of events, though, so far, isn't it? Yeah. Trust me, it's only going to get crazier. So yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe, and check out my Twitch and Ko-Fi and Twitter/X. Next episode, we'll be finishing up the first part of this trial, and yeah, it's just getting started, trust me on that. So look forward to that, and peace off.